How is she?
That file you pulled together for her was good.
And Nicole?
She's well cared for. You've risen fast while somehow managing to help June. It takes talent to fly under the radar like that.
Is he gonna try to get him on their side?
Just trying to stay out of trouble.
Would you like to see your daughter in person rather than asking about her? I know you got a complicated past. America can be a very forgiving place. I'd like to help you and your daughter. If you'll let me, we could help each other.
I remember that.
It must be hard seeing your daughter and having to leave her behind. I stole some from the Putnam house. One little rebellion won't hurt.
I know it's weird, but having a baby, it's the most incredible thing. A tiny feet and hands grew inside me. It's wild. It's the most complete love you'll ever know. Even if someone else is raising her. They treat you the best when you're pregnant. It's like a princess.
No, I bet they do.
I'm gonna miss you. Maybe Aunt Lydia will let us be walking partners.
Did she poison that candy?
Maybe. I really didn't like you whenever we first met.
Yeah.
And I was right the first time.
What?
You heard her.
Why?
You don't care about me. You just wanted to see your daughter, right? No, you lied to me. You used me, like Aunt Lydia, like they all do. You're one of them.
Esther, I was trying to help you survive. Like June helped me.
You're not June. You know, you're a disgrace. I fucking hate you.
Oh my God, Esther.
We're gonna make June proud.
I thought she was just gonna kill her, but she killed herself.
What did you do? Help! Denise, what happened?
Aunt Lydia gotta get fired.
Oh God.
She has to be fired. You know, that was the only thing that was to herself, showing her that she like giving her purpose, showing it that it was true, was Janine and the success she had with her. Oh, he's literally under his eye. I saw that part. It was like a thumbnail for the entire season. So this man was a traitor. She was able to come there and with the help of Nick and the one dude, convince them, hey, let's give him like a great funeral. Even though is Hannah one of them? Yeah. If she bring Hannah back with her to taunt June, now we got some interest in shit. I want the fuckery. If we gonna do some shit, I want it to be ridiculous as possible. She's gonna see her on the news or something. Yeah. Look, it's up on the big screen. On the big shit. Taunting her. Wait a minute, hold on. Did this bitch do all of this just to taunt you? Please tell me she's that evil of a whore. And why the fuck would we put...
What the fuck?
The motherfuckers doing World War II. They would have put the Nazi marches on the goddamn screen. Fuck are y'all putting that on the screen for? What? It makes for good TV, but why would we do that? This is fucked. Asshole. You gotta pop her when she get back. This some hoe ass shit. Hey, fuck her, yo. She most definitely did all of this specifically for this reason right here. Look at this. Dog, she did all of this. This is what I'm talking about. I want the fuck shit. Let's go. Okay, I'm back on board. I'm back on board. The fuckery. This bit, I'm like, yo, none of this makes sense. She fucked with him and she was pissed that he got killed. But the whole time she had been more pissed that June did it. Okay? That's always been what this was. And so while all of this is going on, every once in a while she let it something slip about June or something. Okay. But most of it was, hey, I need a funeral and I need it at a big place. You know, something important. And she got Nick and the one dude to help her, right? I can't remember his name no more, man. I apologize. I watch a ton of shit. My apologies. And so the fact that, you know, she said, listen, well, they said, look, this can help. This can get, you know, every nation to join in and excuse me, not join in, but to finally come around to, and I'm like, that's not a thing. What? No, what is going on here? And even the fact that old dude who people keep telling me, hey, nah, he's straight. But to me, he seems like he's terrible at his fucking job. I just don't understand. Things just keep happening. All right. At some point, this motherfucker got to answer for something. Same way Lydia does. We're going to get to that. And so I'm like, what is all this long drawn out shit? No lie. I'm ready. Had they not done the thing with Janine and is it Esther? I can't remember. Janine and the little girl. I believe it's Esther. Where they almost died. Had they not done that, I was kind of checked out, okay? And then I'm seeing everybody, okay? Who did we see? We saw her. We saw the casket. We saw the commanders. We saw the wives, the mistresses. We saw the handmaids, okay? And then we saw the supreme commanders of the area, I guess you would call them or whatever, right? Okay. And so I'm thinking, that's everybody, right? And then we see some younger girls and I go, it immediately hits me. Oh, no. What if she's there? But I'm still thinking, that doesn't even make sense. What? Because my mind hasn't come around to, no, she did all of this to fuck with June. What's the one thing they have on June? What's the one thing she still cares about, still needs, still wants? Her daughter, Hannah. I'll accept it. This is what I want. This came up with a show that I recently reacted to, Mr. Robot. It wasn't even about whether the episode was good or not that I had reacted to. It was, I wasn't entertained, right? And so during this episode, I wasn't really being entertained like that until we got to the Janine shit. And then once we got here, I'm like, well, and it hits me and I'm like, holy shit. And then you see the 25th fucking close-up of June's face in this. Now, earlier I said, yo, this show used to be about June, the Handmaids, Serena and Fred, and every once in a while, the commander shit. But it was mostly about June and then about the Handmaids, right? And when she was with Serena and Fred, a little bit about them, right? But okay. And of course, you also have Aunt Lydia, right? But it was mostly evenly shared, everything other than June. June was the main thing. But I was like, yo, on this season, it's June and Serena. And what they're doing is they're setting up a duel. It's June versus Serena. Okay. Because I'm looking and I'm like, yo, they did a close up, and as I'm complaining about another close up of June, they did one of Serena. I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? But they're making it clear. Cause I said early on, I'm like, I made that joke about the close up after she hides the gun. Then all of a sudden, and I'm like, we're probably gonna see that at the end too. And we damn sure did. How many episodes have ended with her face doing all that goofy shit? You know, where nothing came of it, by the way. Nothing came of it. And this leads me to another thing. Somebody brought up that Luke, and I believe this was in my page. Actually, I think it was on YouTube where somebody brought up that Luke is acting like there's some people who would act that way. That's facts. It never leaves you. The terminology and the way he was speaking meant he didn't understand it. Okay? It means he didn't understand it. And now it's showing to me the show is doing this purposely. They're not just doing this to make Luke unlikable or make him seem a certain way. They're showing what it is. He doesn't get it. And he's a man. His pride is hurt. He couldn't save Hannah. He couldn't save her. It's another man's baby. Then they, so he even has to bring up, I'd have done something if I was over there too. And all, right. And he almost like puts it out there. Hey, we might not be able to survive this if you keep on this way. And it's like, and then, okay, he takes it to, yo, you got to leave that in the past, basically. Basically, I'm not saying it verbatim, but the way he's putting it, leave it in the past. She's not here no more. And all of us who get this is like, no. That's not going nowhere. And he said something about like, she can't touch you or something like that. I'm like, motherfucker, she feels. We saw the dream. If you didn't get it, we saw the she was awake. She wasn't even dreaming, by the way. She can't sleep, more than likely. She's having visions of the shit that happened in the past. And he's talking about, hey, leave that alone. It's like, what? Now, the thing with Moira and Rita, it is Rita, right? I'm not mad at the characters. I'm mad at the writers because how far are we taking this and making June be this way? Because if June's this way, why is everybody else not? June is the only outlier? And or are we just saying only handmaids could be this way? Because when there was the group that beat up Fred, wasn't those all handmaids, right? But Moira was one too. Moira was a handmaid, but she ends up becoming in the Jezebel's club. I don't know. I just don't like what they're doing with that, where it's making it seem like, oh, she's going too far overboard. And then Moira is like, fuck off. And it's just making it seem like all of them can't understand each other when that's all they got. And it's like, I don't know. I get what they're doing. I don't like it though. Ain't really nothing else for me to explain about that. I've already said how I felt about that. Yeah, there was moments at this where I'm like, this shit goofy to me. I'm gonna just have my fun with it. But we'll see what they do, because the show has done this in the past where they set up some shit and really it was no real good payoff from the shit they would set up. June, she hit that gun. I don't know, man. Oh, okay, now let's go to this. Lydia. She gotta get fired. Out of everything that's the most unbelievable in this show, one of the top things is that these dudes are like basically bloodthirsty. They deal with shit on some Old Testament way. And Aunt Lydia, she just has been a utter failure over and over. And the thing you can say, well, she's put in a lot of work and it's help. Yeah, she's had a lot of handmaids go through and help them. But the shit she's done has been catastrophic, really. Like, you know what I mean? Over and over. And it's just, I don't know. And then, like, she got to retire. They got to retire her or something. And the one girl, who was a wife, and then they tried to make her a handmaid. That dude is so weird. It's just, part of it is with this season is we're on season 5. I know how weird the dudes are. I know what they do behind closed doors, and I'm not saying I'm not even saying I've had enough of the weirdness. What I'm getting at is, like, for instance, that scene, I guess they did the scene, and it was a good way to show how she got the chocolate, right? Because I'm trying to think, what was the purpose of that scene? I get that they weird like that, especially that Putnam dude, right? But anyway, they gave she got the candy, and I'm thinking she gonna kill Janine for sure. But then she took herself. I'm not doing that shit. Are you fucking crazy? Remember the trauma she had. She was violated repeatedly with no help or nothing by just random dudes. And now you gonna try to put her back in that? And we already saw her disposition. We saw how she was, how she gave it up. Like, she was different than the other little girls based off the stuff that she had been through. She's like, I'm not going through that. And you're not going any further. Right? We'll see if they actually have the guts to kill off both of those characters. I don't think they will. But yeah. He got me back enough for another episode. Anyway, yeah. Next episode.